Hey, welcome back to SupeRonpoNatural, the series where I recap and review every single episode of SupeRnatural. Yeah, I'm in a new place. I don't actually care for it. I'm probably gonna have to get a green screen. The background looks awkward. But for now, it'll have to do. At least my blankets are up. Shouldn't be too echoey. As always, check the pinned comment for a poll for the game show I'm working on. Oh, also, congratulations to probably the least expected engagement ever, DJ Qualls, who plays Garth, and Ty Olson, who plays Benny. I honestly didn't realize either of them was gay, and also they seem so different that it's really unexpected for me. Now, there's another fun reason that it's unexpected, but I'll leave that unsaid because it's a bit spoilery, but, you know, the fans will know. Big congrats to the happy couple. Look at them in their matching hats. Ugh. Also, I'm starting a bedtime story series, so if you're into that kind of thing, check it out on the channel. But with no further ado, let's hop into Season 1, Episode 10, Asylum. We're at an abandoned asylum, as the title suggests. Tons of graffiti and the doors are chained shut. Whoops, not anymore. Cops show up. Classic older black cop with a younger white partner from out of town. Older cop tells newbie about the local legend about the asylum. They say it's haunted with the ghosts of the patients. If you spend a night, the spirits drive you insane. They notice the chain has been broken. They split up to find the trespassers. I wonder which one will die. There's a long scene of them searching. Old cop finds some youngsters hiding. Young cop's flashlight goes out. Okay, he's the one who's gonna die. A door opens creepily. We're outside the asylum. Young cop shows up with a super creepy look on his face. He's asked if he saw anything, and he does a classic supernatural poker face. Then his nose starts bleeding, which is actually nice because I was so certain his eyes were gonna do something like they always do. He comes home to his incredibly beautiful wife. Damn, son. She asks if he's still angry with her, then gives a super Canadian about.
I said I was sorry about before.
She worked so hard on not saying sorry, she forgot about about. Side note, when people try to do the Canadian about, they always go way overboard and they do like a boot or a boat. Now, the word is said differently across the country. Some Canadians do say a boot or a boat, but it's not nearly as widespread as some people think. If you want to know a trick to say a really nice, subtle Canadian about, say a boat, but with a British accent. A boat. Anyway, back to the murder. The cop grabs his gun and shoots his beautiful wife. Then, presumably, himself. To the boys. Sam's calling people to see if they've seen John. Sam wants to do a missing person report, but Dean vetoes that. Dean gets a text from an unknown number with coordinates, which he thinks is from their dad. The coordinates lead to Rockford, Illinois, where a cop shot his wife, then himself. Called it. I mean, I had seen it before, but I still called it. Earlier that night, he'd responded to a call at the Roosevelt Asylum, which was written in John's journal. So it seems like their dad is sending them a job. And Daddy's boy Dean is all over it.
Once it's there, it's good enough for me.
Dean meets up with the older cop, pretends to be a reporter asking about his partner. Sam comes in like a white knight on his white steed and shoves him away, calls him a jerk, and buys the cop a beer. The ruse works. Sam dishes on what the cop told him, and you can really hear that he's been directed to stop talking like he's on Gilmore Girls because he's way more forceful with his words at this part.
So Walter Kelly was a good cop. Out of his class, even keeled.
And just like that, his soap talking starts its gradual transition into supernatural talking, which is better, but still kind of grinds my gears. Apparently, young cop was a good guy with a good life, so it's weird that he went all nutso. They head to the asylum. Sam says the cops chased the kids to the South Wing, which was mentioned in John's journal as the location where 3 kids broke in the 70s and one of them went nuts. Only one survived. So there's something up with the South Wing. Sam notices that the doors were chained. Then the door opens on its own. Bad sign for most people, good sign for ghost hunters. Dean says ghosts are attracted to Sam's ESP. Sam says he doesn't have ESP, he just gets strange vibes sometimes, weird dreams. Which sounds a lot like ESP to me, I'm not gonna lie. Nothing on the EMF, but it's daytime, so that's not too surprising. Dean asks who's the hottest psychic, Patricia Arquette, Jennifer Love Hewitt, or Sam? For the folks at home, the answer is, of course, Jennifer Love Hewitt. Sam's a close second, though. They find some freaky lab with organs and dismembered dolls. It's classic to the point of cliche. Clearly, they did some messed up stuff to the patients. They hypothesize. Maybe it's possessions. Maybe it's spirits turning people insane, like The Shining. Sam slips back into soap talking as they argue some more about their daddy issues. Dean finds a plaque for the chief of staff, Sanford Ellicott, and they decide to do some more research about the South Wing. Fun fact, the Men's Health Sam's reading here features an interview with none other than Jared Padalecki. Sam talks to James Ellicott, Sanford's son. A bit of a deep cut, but I know this guy from Dead Like Me. I really love that show, you should watch it. And his bit was particularly good. Side note, in real life, his name is actually James. Anyway, character James is a psychiatrist. Sam starts talking about Sanford, trying and utterly failing to make it seem offhand, but James wants to talk about Sam's issues, of which he has many. He talks vaguely about his road trip with his brother, but Sam keeps trying to bring it back to Sanford and the South Wing. James mentions there was a riot, then makes a deal. He'll talk about the riot if Sam talks about his feelings towards his brother. No, not those kinds of feelings, shippers. Get your heads out of the gutter. Sam tells Dean the South Wing was for the criminally insane. One day they rioted, took over the hospital, and killed a bunch of people, including Ellicott, whose body was never found. So there were a bunch of violent deaths and unrecovered bodies, which is basically a recipe for angry spirits. Back to the hospital. There's a young couple trespassing now. The dude played Hunter in the office. His cute girlfriend's not impressed. Something tells me she's about to get far less impressed. Hunter wants to check out a creepy door. His girlfriend doesn't want to. He leaves her alone in an abandoned asylum. Seriously, even if ghosts didn't exist, this is just irresponsible. Who knows who's there? The door closes behind him. He thinks nothing of it. This guy is dumb. Then his girlfriend walks up creepily, starts making out with him. Then he hears his real girlfriend and realizes the person he was making out with has rotting flesh. Barf. Hope you weren't eating at this part like I was when I was writing the script. The boys are there too. EMF meter indicates multiple spirits, even worse, spirits of psycho killers, so they gotta find the bodies and burn them. Sam uses a video camera to ideally see any ghosts present. He turns, there's a woman with a hole in her head, and Dean shoots her. But oddly, she didn't attack him. They hear a sound in a room. It's a terrified girl, Catherine, who's incredibly shaken to learn that ghosts are freaking real. But she insists on going with them to find her boyfriend, whose name is actually Gavin. He doesn't deserve it, girl. Get out of there. Sam finds Gavin, who's unconscious on the floor. Tells him they found Kat. Gavin tells him about the freaky ghost chick who kissed him, which confirms Sam's suspicions that something is amiss with these ghosts. Also, she tried to whisper something in his ear, but he was too busy running the hell away to hear it. Dean's flashlight goes out. Bad sign. Kat gets grabbed by a ghost hand and yanked into a room. The door slams. She's trapped. Dean tries to pry it open. There's a ghost behind it, but it doesn't attack either. Sam tells her to calm down because the ghosts are trying to communicate. She looks at the ghost, and it whispers in her ear. Then the door opens. And if the ghosts are open to some constructive criticism, if you're trying to get someone to listen to you, don't yank them into a room and lock the door. But whatever. The door opens, and Kat reveals that the ghost whispered 137, a room number. So Dean's off to room 137 while Sam takes the kids out of the hospital. Dean finds room 137, shoves the door open, and sees that it's destroyed with filing cabinets tipped over. Another Sanford Ellicott plaque. Sam learns that the doors won't open. Something doesn't want them to leave. Something other than the patients. Dean finds a hole in the wall. He opens a hidden compartment and finds a satchel with a patient's journal in it. He reads it, learning about some of the messed up stuff Ellicott did to the patients. He hears something. Sam can't find a way out. Gets a call from Dean to find him. Sam asks the kids if either of them can use a shotgun, and Gavin has quickly turned from a brave boy to a fraidy cat, which is annoying, but then again, I piss my pants playing horror video games, so I can't really judge here. Luckily, Kat's been skeet shooting, so she takes the boomstick. Sam finds a biohazard room. He looks around. His flashlight goes out. I don't know about you, but the telltale sign that I'm having a nightmare is that none of the lights work, so this gives me a little bit of extra heebie-jeebies. A door creaks open behind him. He walks in. He notices a shadow behind a curtain. He slowly walks over, pulls the curtain. Nothing. He relaxes. And of course, the moment someone relaxes as they turn around, you know something's gonna be there when they turn around. Yep, freaky ghost guy grabs him, says he'll make him all better, and zaps his brain with energy. Back to the kids. Kat says they're breaking up if they get out alive. And that's pretty fair. The guy put them in a stupidly dangerous situation and then totally wimped out when the crap hit the fan. And yes, I'm trying to keep the language to a minimum to keep it in line with Supernatural. Sue me. They hear a bang. It's Dean. Kat almost shoots him. Dean reveals it wasn't him who called Sam. Kids say they went to the basement. So Dean follows him down there. He's calling for Sam and finds him with a creepy face and an odd, distant voice. Uh-oh. Dean reveals what he's learned. The patients rioted against Ellicott because he was experimenting on them. Some extreme rage therapy. You know, making them feel all better. But it didn't work and just made him angrier. Also, the logbook said there was a hidden room where he worked on patients and Dean thinks his body might be there. They go into the room. Dean hears a whistling and finds a secret door. Sam pulls out his gun and his nose starts bleeding. Looks like Ellicott still hasn't gotten better at his treatment, it just makes people angrier. And that's why the young cop killed his wife over a regular married couple squabble. Sam shoots Dean with the rock salt. Sam starts monologuing about their dad and dissing Dean for being such a daddy's boy. Dean offers his gun to make it easier. A hell of a gambit. Sam holds up the gun. He's shaking. And he actually tries to shoot him. Jeez Louise. Luckily, it wasn't a gambit after all because it wasn't loaded. Though it's anyone's guess when Dean unloaded it. Dean knocks him out and looks around. Ghosticott walks behind him. Dean sees hair sticking out of a cabinet. He opens it and finds a rotting corpse, presumably Ellicott's body. He salts it, squirts some lighter fluid, tries not to barf, Then a table knocks him down and Ghosticott starts zapping his brain. Dean stretches for his bag, gets the lighter, and tosses it onto the corpse. Ellicott burns up and the day is saved! Huzzah! Sam wakes up, feeling markedly less murdery. They're back outside with the kids, and it's daytime. The kids walk away, and Sam apologizes for the things he said. He says he didn't mean it, but neither Dean nor I believe him. We see Dean asleep. His phone rings. Sam picks it up. He sits bolt upright. It's their dad! And the episode ends on that cliffhanger. And that's the episode. I quite like this one. Kevin annoyed the crap out of me, but like in a realistic way. Like I can totally see a teenage boy trying to be all brave to impress his girlfriend, only to crap himself when the bravery's actually needed. I also like the misdirect that the violent mental patients were not, in fact, the antagonists. Though I sure hope Sam and Dean went back to burn all their bodies so they can go to rest or whatever. Ellicott was real creepy too. All in all, a solid episode, which I'll give 8 out of 10. By the way, fun fact, apparently Tom Welling, aka Clark Kent from Smallville, was hiding in the backseat of the car for one of the car scenes. I'm not sure which one. Smallville shot right next to SupeRonatural, so they started chatting with him, and then when they had to go back to the scene, they just told him to hop in the back. And when the boys get out of the car, they got out, and then suddenly Clark Kent came out. Would have been a great blooper, but apparently they didn't realize they'd even need a gag reel at that point, so the footage was lost. Darn it. Anyway, that's it for this episode of SupeRonpoNatural. Please do like, subscribe, comment, share, all that fun stuff. Until next time, stay safe, stay sane, and stay smiling.